Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am continuing our ongoing series, Ask a Witch, and I'm answering a question that I actually answered many years ago in a video that has since been taken down along with like 450 other videos as we go through the legal transition to be a seminary. Anyway, I digress. The question that I was sent was, how do you make a wand? And at the time, I detailed how rare it was for me to use a wand, why I prefer a blasting rod and a stick, like a walking stick, a cane. I talked about the wands I had had throughout my life, why I was no longer using them, and then I did walk through the basic steps that I take to name, consecrate, claim, and continue claiming a tool that I'm using. This is a little different than that. If anybody wants all that information again, I'm happy to answer all those questions. But I got an opportunity this last week to make a wand and went ahead and did that, and I filmed the process for all of you, and I just want to talk about why I chose to do this, what steps I'll be taking in the future, and I'll try to keep it pretty short. So, long story short, my family and I visited the North Carolina Renaissance Festival in the last week. And we went to the Dragon Forge experience where we had scheduled to make several knives for the family, and my partner Yen and I made wands. We chose to make wands partially because we don't own any right now, and it is a tool that we are lacking. We don't always use it, but maybe we would have a better relationship with the idea of using a wand if we made it ourselves, or at least that was the logic. And because both of us already own the style of knives that you could make at the Dragon Forge experience. We both have rail spike knives. I have a horseshoe knife, and that was what you would have the opportunity to make. Munchkin made a knife. One of my dearest friends and oldest students made a knife, and Apprentice made a knife, but Yen and I made wands. They do match, they're matching wands. As I mentioned in a recent video, it's up to you whether or not you want your tool to match your partner's tool. Nobody made the really obvious sex joke, which I guess I both appreciate and am surprised by. And of course, at any time, if your tools are tied together, you can choose to break that connection and consider it a singular tool. Right, so this is the wand that I made. I obviously am not a blacksmith myself, so was walked through the process the whole time with the aid of the blacksmith. I did not place it into the forge myself. They did all of the moving it in and out of the heat of the forge, but I did hammer it out myself. I did twist the heated metal myself. I did quench it myself. So it was a really wonderful experience for me. Part of the reason I wanted to do it this way, my great-great-grandfather, who I did actually get to meet and know before his death, who was the father of my grandmother, who I talk about a lot, who raised me, who is actually my great-grandmother. That has caused some confusion on our channel before. Sometimes I refer to her as my great-grandmother, and sometimes I refer to her as grandmother. She was actually my great-grandmother. That is who raised me, and I did have the privilege and honor of knowing her father, who was my great-great-grandfather, and who was a blacksmith. And when I came to know him, he still owned his knife shop, and he was still sharpening people's saw blades in his community, but not for very long. Eventually, he had to give that up and move into elder care, and then passed on. But I'll put some pictures up on the screen. He was a blacksmith. This is a part of my family tradition. It's a part of my family culture. Blacksmithing is huge in the culture that I'm from, that I'm not going to get into. So getting an opportunity to even try my hand at this was really, really special for me. I hope to eventually have a setup of my own. Don't have one right now, so got to do that. We also, so in addition to making it and making it out of iron and making it with these spirals and twists as I was putting power into it and hammering out the point myself, did get an opportunity to name the wands when we made them. I'm a big believer that naming a tool reinforces the power that you want it to have. I am not going to say what I named mine. It is in a different language, but I can tell you that it means to strengthen or reinforce a concept, which is exactly how I intend to use the wand, to strengthen and reinforce my own energies, to focus and amplify what I'm going to be doing anyway. I did get a chance to get the quench waters as well. Well, a bottle full. There was a whole big vessel full, but these are the quench waters. I'm aware that it's in a plastic water bottle. This is what we happened to have on us at the fair because they didn't let us bring in our metal water bottles. We had to buy water at the fair. So they were nice enough to let us take the quench waters from us quenching our wands. I haven't decided all of what I'm doing with these, but I have them, which is a big deal to me. So I made it, I named it, I empowered it with its purpose, I explained to it its purpose, I pushed that into it as I was shaping it. This is what you are going to become, this is what you will be, this is what you are, this is what I have named you, this is what you are going to do for me, until it felt like it stuck, until it felt like it was really pushed into it. And then I'm going to have to maintain that connection. I have tools that I don't use as often as I should. You can see some of them behind me. I've actually been requested at some point to film an explanation about what a lot of these tools are. I will get to it eventually. To maintain it, I am going to do something that I have to do to maintain it anyway. So this is made from iron, which is fantastic for some kinds of magic. Apotropaic magic, protection magic, strengthening magic, blood magic, earth magic. Iron is fantastic for all of those, right? But it rusts. It rusts really badly. So I will be regularly anointing it. And in so doing, I will strengthen my connection with my tool, I will reinforce its purpose, and I will protect it from damage and decay. I could add essential oils to this oil if I wanted to empower it in a particular direction. I could dilute essential oils into it, not use essential oils uncut on my hand to anoint a tool. Please don't do that. So if, for example, I wanted to reinforce the idea of it being for protection, or the idea of it being for blood magic, or for earth magic, or a tool for battle. There are different oils that I could use to reinforce those concepts. As I want it to be a general tool simply for reinforcing and strengthening something I'm doing anyway, I'm probably just going to use olive oil. I will also probably at some point bleed on it, just to really reinforce its connection to me, to my blood, to my power, but I will not put that on this video because I have been told that sometimes it is distressing to see me prick my finger and bleed on my tools. So just be aware that that's happening at some point. So just to really reinforce the process I went through, I made it. Do you have to make it at a forge experience? No, you don't. You could make it out of a stick you find in your backyard, a hot glue gun, and a crystal point. We used to sell those kind of ones for $1 at all kinds of events we put on for children, and they loved them. 2, I named it. I told it its name. 3, I gave it a purpose. The name and the purpose aligned, they worked with each other. 4, I'm going to maintain that connection, and I'm going to strengthen it over time. And 5, I'm probably going to bleed on it, make it mine for sure, so no one can ever interfere with its workings or its connections to me. So this one is mine. This one is Ian's. They match. And please remember to like and subscribe and send us any other questions you have for Ask a Witch. We're happy to answer when we can.